Welcome to Learning from Leaders, the show where we dive into the minds of today's top thought leaders, coaches, authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs with your host, RJ Horner. Each week, we explore real conversations, powerful lessons, and actionable insights to help you grow, lead, and make a lasting impact. Whether you're building your business, your brand, or your influence, you'll find the inspiration and strategies you need right here. Let's dive in and start learning from leaders.
Hey friends, hey beacons, welcome back to Learning from Leaders. I'm your host RJ Horner, and today we're diving into one of the most important topics that we often overlooked and in the aspects of leadership, and that is self-awareness. Now, before you turn this out and think, oh, this is going to be another soft skills talk, stay with me because I'm convinced of this. You'll never outperform your level of self-awareness as a leader. You can have vision, you can have talent, but you can even have strategy. But if you don't understand yourself, eventually you'll have blind spots that will undermine your influence. So let me start with a simple but powerful question. How can you lead others if you haven't first learned to lead yourself? Leadership doesn't start with a team. It doesn't start with a title. It doesn't even start with followers. Leadership starts in the mirror. It starts right here. I love the Michael Jackson song, you know what I mean? And that one line that guides me. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Lead yourself first. We spend so much time learning how to motivate people, inspire people, manage people, correct people even, but very little time learning to learning how to understand ourselves. Self-awareness means knowing your strengths. Yes, but it also means knowing your triggers, your insecurities, your emotional patterns, your default reactions under stress. It means recognizing how your personality affects the people and the world around you. And here's the truth. I've seen over the years with coaching leaders, the ones who struggle the most aren't the ones who lack intelligence. They aren't the ones who lack work ethic, and they aren't even the ones who lack opportunity. Because when you don't know yourself, you can't manage yourself. And when you can't manage yourself, you can't effectively lead others. So let me tell you about this manager I once coached. He was brilliant, sharp thinker, strategic, full of ideas. He had big energy, big goals, and big expectations. But his team, they were exhausted. Turnover was increasing, morale was dropping, meetings were often tense. When we sat down together, he said, RJ, I don't understand it. I'm pushing for excellence. I care about results. I'm passionate. And he was. But here's what he couldn't see. His intensity felt like pressure. His passion felt like criticism. His drive felt like micromanagement. He wasn't even trying to intimidate anyone, but that's how it landed. I'll never forget when he said to me, I didn't mean to make them feel that way. And I said, I know you didn't, but impact matters more than intention. That moment was a turning point for him because self-awareness isn't about how you see yourself. It's about others, how others experience you, right?
Are you ready to step into your full leadership potential? To grow as a leader who inspires, empowers, and makes an impact? Welcome to the Beacon Fellows School of Leadership, a place where emerging leaders, coaches, and changemakers come together to master the skills, mindset, and strategies to lead with purpose. Through our immersive programs, you'll gain proven frameworks for building influence and authority, hands-on leadership development tools and workbooks, personalized guidance from experienced facilitators, a community of like-minded leaders committed to growth. Whether you're looking to lead a team, launch a movement, or simply grow in confidence and clarity, the Beacon Fellows School equips you with the skills, strategies, and support to shine as a leader in any arena. Join us today and start your journey to becoming a leader who leaves a lasting impact. Visit www.beaconfellows.com to learn more and secure your place at the Beacon Fellows School of Leadership. Your next step as a leader starts now.
There is always a gap between who we believe we are and how others experience us. Great leaders close that gap. Insecure leaders deny it. Defensive leaders protect it. and prideful leaders ignore it. But self-aware leaders lean into it. They're curious about it. They ask, why did this reaction happen? They ask, what am I missing? They ask, what might I not be seeing? They ask great questions. They ask, how can I improve? And that curiosity changes everything. So let's be honest. Self-awareness is uncomfortable because it requires humility. It requires admitting, I might not be as clear as I think I am. I might not be as patient as I believe, and I might not be as approachable as I assume. And if we tie our identity too tightly to being the leader, it can feel threatening to examine ourselves. But here's the paradox. The more secure you are in your identity, the more honest you can be about your weaknesses. Self-awareness is not about tearing yourself down. It's about understanding yourself well enough to grow intentionally. So let me give you something practical here. Do you know what you're feeling and why? When you feel, we're talking about emotional awareness. And when you feel frustrated, do you pause and ask what's underneath it? Is it fear or failure? Is it loss of control? Is it an unmet expectation? If you don't understand your emotions, they will lead you instead of you leading them. Next, we're talking about behavioral awareness. How do you show up under pressure? Do you get quieter, louder, more controlling, more distant? Stress doesn't create character, it reveals it. Your team sees who you really are when the deadline is tight and the stakes are high. The more tense your environment gets, the more you show your emotions, and the more your team recognizes that you are not as strong as they expect you to be. Relationship awareness or relational awareness. How do people experience you? Are you approachable? Are you intimidating, even without realizing? This was a big one for me. I was intimidating people and I didn't even realize it with my um, demands. You know what I mean? So are you intimidating people without realizing? Do people feel safe bringing bad news to you? I know I did this even with my kids. So we're not talking about leadership just as a team. You lead in many aspects of your life. And I did this with my kids. My kids did not feel safe bringing things to me. So I was unapproachable to them. And then, so if your team or even your family hides mistakes from you, that's not a performance problem. That's a relational signal. And self-aware leaders can't pay attention to signals. So here's what I ask you to do this week. Take 20 to 30 minutes alone, no distractions, and ask yourself, one, what situations trigger impatience or frustration in me? Two, when I feel disrespected, how do I respond? Three, what feedback have I received, especially more than once? Number four, where do I tend to overreact? Number five, where do I tend to withdraw? And I know that's difficult for people, asking themselves deep questions that may not want to know the answers to. But by taking this step, by getting in touch with yourself, you're starting to become a better leader because you're a self-aware leader. And then here's the courageous step. After you take these questions, ask someone you trust, not someone who will flatter you, someone who will tell you the truth. Ask them, what's it like to be led by me? When do I make it hard to work with me? And what's one thing I do that limits my effectiveness? And when they answer, don't defend, don't explain, don't justify. Just listen. Take that in because you're looking for a learning experience here. How can I improve? When we're talking about self-awareness, that's what we're talking about, is how can I improve? Because self-awareness grows in the space between how we see ourselves and how others experience us. The strength of a grounded leader. When leaders become self-aware, something powerful happens. They become less reactive, more intentional, more consistent. They don't let their moods set the culture. They don't let ego drive decisions. They don't let insecurity shape conversations. Instead, they lead from grounded confidence. They know their strengths and they leverage them. They know their weaknesses and they manage them. They know their values and they align with them. And that's what creates stability. And teams thrive under stable leadership. So before you lead up the mountain, let me leave you with this image. Imagine leading a group up a mountain. You've got the map, you've got the gear, you've got the authority, but you've never examined your own footing. If you don't know your limits, your fears, your endurance, your blind spots, you can't put everyone at risk, or you can put everyone at risk, is what you're doing. Leadership is the same way. Before you lead others up the mountain, you have to know the terrain inside yourself, your motivations, your ego, your emotional patterns, your triggers, because wherever you go, you take yourself with you. You might have heard the expression, wherever I go, there I am. So who are you showing up as? Are you working to be the best leader, not just for yourself, but for everyone you serve? So here's my challenge for you this week. Don't just pursue better leadership skills. Pursue deeper self-understanding, because leadership isn't about knowing it all. It's about knowing yourself. And when you understand yourself, you become calmer, clearer, and more authentic. And authenticity is what builds trust. So thanks for tuning in today to Learning from Leaders. If today's episode made you pause, reflect, or feel challenged, share it with another leader who's serious about growth. And remember this, the strongest leaders aren't the loudest in the room. They're the most grounded within themselves. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining your light.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If it inspired you, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. We invite you to join Beacon Fellowship School of Leadership, a community of your peers learning and growing together. Visit www.beaconfellows.com. Keep growing, keep serving, and keep your light shining bright. Most of all, never stop learning from leaders.